All right, episode 8.
What up, what
Hey,
up, what up, what up?
what up,
This is Star
y'all?
Rock and my co-host Malika Jules, and you are tuned into Smart Girl Dumb World. Quick
Yes.
housekeeping. We will change the spelling of my name in the intro. I'm just gonna put that out there because
We
I feel
on
like
it.
somebody's gonna say something to me.
You know what I'm saying? And it's okay if you got something to say. We bucking up against Black girl
Your
perfectionism. We're
perfection,
not perfect, but what we are on is episode 8.
which is amazing.
We are doing is uploading
That's
consistently.
amazing. The scattered creative brains.
We are honing in on it. This is gifted and talented education grown up.
Yep.
Okay. This is us using what we have to be our very best, to live
Mhm.
out the dreams of Tevin Campbell's song. Tomorrow will bring a better. I don't even remember the words because our world is so
Tomorrow will
dumb.
be a better day.
I'm like, was it? Like, oh my God. Like, I think that's my problem is I thought the world was going to be as Tevin Campbell and Whitney Houston sang to me. And it's
Same.
it's not. It's the opposite. It's the
We
opposite.
have swiftly learned that it's not that way.
It's
Mm-mm-mm.
not that way, but you know what? It's still amazing to be alive. It's still amazing to be walking around on this planet. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like
Sometimes,
right,
sometimes I just be like, "What is happening?"
I be having my blinders on.
Extended episode of the Twilight Zone. I need to put my blinders on too.
Blinders on. It's definitely giving long Twilight Zone. It's definitely giving Octavia Butler novel.
For sure. And people keep saying we're headed
2024.
to a Maid's Tale, and I'm like, no, y'all need to go read Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talent.
And what's crazy is I believe Parable of the Talent or so, I forget, one of them took place in 2024.
I think it was the Talent,
Yeah, I think so because
the
that's
latter book.
and the parable of the talents is like, I mean, even the president that she describes, I mean, it's
Gives
so
Mike Pence.
it's giving Donald Trump, the convicted felon who also is
True, true.
America's president. um,
Imagine making history as the first president to be
I
a
mean,
convicted
like
felon.
twice impeached. You know what I'm saying? Like it just sound like in the hood, like they'd be like, "Yo, that's tight." Like twice impeached. Convicted felon, convicted on business
All the stuff
charges.
that they want to pin on black people and rappers, right? Like all the stereotypes and stuff he embodies
And
every
then they're
single
like,
one.
it's so funny how they're like, he's like a rapper. It's like, no, this is a white man doing what white men have been doing.
Right.
And when you see other people doing it, it's because they've learned from the originators. So this is the perfect example.
Exactly.
So we're getting some original,
Original gang, the real original
the
gangsters.
original gangster. He said hip hop will not take credit for this. I am a white man in America. I'm the original gangster. Blah, blah, blah. And
You
I think that the Chargers are crazy. So, like, okay, first of all, I want to say shout out to Stormy Daniels. Shout out to Stormy Daniels. Like, I heard her recount was crazy. I heard the sex didn't last long. We heard about the
not
mushroom.
surprising.
We heard about the mushroom. Okay. It's all very entertaining. She's definitely an American hero.
Mhm.
A la Betsy Ross. Is Betsy Ross the one who made the flag? We know Betsy Ross didn't make the flag. But we're
Right.
saying, like, is she just one of the great white women of American history? I believe so. Shouts out to Stormy
Mhm.
Daniels. Shouts out to sex workers who know all the secrets. Sex workers know all the secrets.
Are surprisingly keeping them. Maybe not surprisingly, because we know these folks that it's not just NDAs, it's beyond NDAs, like the system of silence, right? Like
Mhm.
there's a way to get silence um that has possibly kept some people from talking.
Right.
Shouts out to them because we know you know a lot. It's the same thing in the industry.
Yes. Yes. I think
So
it's amazing that this is happening simultaneously with Puff Daddy, right? Like
mhm.
it's like the what power does what it buys. Okay. But what it brought us today was a convicted felon as president, which, like, we all knew this man was a schemer and all that, but I think
Mhm.
it's nice to just finally see
President scammer.
president scammer. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he really He did his big one with his bad business. You know what
I
I mean?
remember learning about Watergate in school, and they were like that was like the biggest scandal ever. And
Yo,
like
Watergate ain't got nothing on these 34 felony counts, baby. Because, like,
not
you know,
at
did
all.
Watergate even make it into that felony part of the world? You
I'm
know what I
like, wasn't
mean?
it like illegal wiretaps?
It was like, you're finding out your secrets.
Right.
Donald Trump was like, I'm fucking these hoes. I'm paying no one. You know, he went in on it. So, okay. So let's take a look. So he's found guilty on 34 counts. And we're going to read all these counts because when do you get to read felony counts against a president? Never. Okay. So he's been found guilty. And shouts out to NPR for this lovely, like,
It's so
color
nice and
coded.
color coded.
It's
because
like,
I do think like the media has done a bad job in terms of educating people with this. Because, and I'm one of these people too, because I don't care what that man does. Honestly, right. I've always felt like he's just going to keep getting away with stuff, and it's not whatever. He's going to get away with it. He's a white man. Exactly. They do what they do. There's a system in place to protect him. Mm-hmm. And so the media was kind of just putting it out there like, oh, it's hush money. It's hush money. And so, you know, someone who would care to question, like, why is he getting in trouble for paying hush money? If you know, ultimately, wouldn't the hush money have come from his own personal stash? And obviously it's deeper than that. And so I appreciate this breakdown for like, because it's really like money laundering. Like right. It's not hush money, actually. Yeah. The Stormy Daniels portion is a smaller portion of it, but right. It's actually a lot. So I appreciate this.
Wow. I do too. So we've, and it's crazy because it's like invoices for legal services, 11 of 11. Checks paid for
this
legal
is like services. Legit racketeering.
No,
mob like, boss type.
Mob boss, like literally the things that mob bosses do. Like,
yep.
Ledger entries for legal expenses. All right. So guilty. And now it's like, what's crazy is in just glancing over these, they're so like finite, you know, because it's like this check you wrote. It's like, because the records was cooked, baby. Okay. I don't even know if I have it in me to read all these, y'all. Let's see how far I can go. I might just scroll, and honey, the drama of the scroll might be enough. But let's just look. It's crazy because look at this. Guilty of an invoice from Michael Cohen marked as a record of the Donald J. Trump Revocable Trust.
Sheesh.
Guilty. Entry in the detail general ledger for the Donald J. Trump Revocable Trust, bearing voucher number 842457. Okay, so it looks like what I'm learning is as an American, I should have a trust.
Is you a trust or a charity?
Or a charity or a trust. Like, okay. And just make sure that you don't do this with it. Be a good person. Guilty. Entry in the detail general ledger for the, like, so there's two vouchers. I mean, do you see this? It's so finite that you would think you would never get caught. Yeah. It's all about invoices and checks paid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
check
this
stub.
This is money laundering.
From his revocable trust. I'm already tired of saying revocable trust. Honey, they went after specific checks, invoices. I mean, it's like, it's literally falsified records and documents.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, you're not supposed to do that, but people do it all the time, especially the big rich dogs. And I wonder, like, I understand how there's no way to completely check these things, but clearly they need to come up with some sort of check and balance. I don't think
it makes sense because I've been audited, like little old me, like no one knows who I am, and I've been audited a couple of times by the government, and I'm like, they on me on my ass like that. And meanwhile, these people with real money to throw around and spend are just out there in the wild, getting away with all kinds of crazy stuff.
It's really crazy.
This is wild.
Honey, it's literally invoice, entry into the ledger, and a check stub over and over and over and over and over again. And I think what it really comes down to is this is the tip of the iceberg. This is what they could get him on. So imagine all the criminality underneath that will never be addressed.
That will never, because like, you know, we don't know what's happening with the case in Georgia, right? Like it's on hold for now. And that judge, I think, was it a case in Florida? What's that judge name? Eileen Cannon. There's another judge. I feel like that's in Florida. There's some other Florida case where she actually put the trial on hold until the summertime, if I'm not mistaken. Let me fact check that, because
my thing is this: if he did all that in 2017, what the hell was he doing while he was president? Now it makes you really think about. Now it really makes you think about the documents, the all the classified documents, which I believe the classified documents he was taking to sell. Like I was like, he's gonna sell those when he's out. He's like, this retirement isn't enough. Like, let me sell these nuclear secrets. Like, I feel like that was, but it's like when you see it laid out like that, you're like, oh, you just falsify. Like you don't give a care.
Yeah, like if you got caught on this, the 34 counts, then there's probably another 34 somewhere and another 34 and another 34 and another, like across the board, because he had the Trump class, the classified documents case, and then again, like there's he has other court cases that he has to tend to at some point.
And it's like, and then so and of course, like in true fashion, in true MAGA fashion, they're like, he's not guilty. Okay, look, okay, guys, I don't know what this man.
We know you want to be vice president.
I don't know what this man slipped in y'all's drink to make you love him. I don't know if he's giving you all. Like, have y'all all gotten a taste of the mushroom? Are you mushroom deed out? Like what? I don't know why you're so like. I don't know why you're so beholden to this man who literally doesn't care about you. But it just goes to show, like,
and for the people of color, especially.
That's what I'm saying. Which brings us to Tim Scott,
Nimrata Haley.
Tim Scott, who was like crying about it, which I thought was hilarious. But I was just in the car with my mom, who is of a particular generation. And she said, oh, they're calling Tim Scott a biscuit maker. And I was like, what is a biscuit maker? And I just want to let you all know, hi, everybody that's watching. Hi, guys. I want to confess to you, I do not like biscuits. I don't like biscuits.
Which I cannot believe. I cannot.
I put a Facebook post up a few years ago saying how I didn't like biscuits. People came for me.
You got ripped to shreds. They tried to take your black card. I know.
They did. And you know what? We're about to find out why I really don't like biscuits, okay? Because apparently back in the day, in the good old US of A, when my people were enslaved and running toward freedom because they were tired of being mistreated. Well, it was hard when we ran away because we were owned. We were property, right? You needed us back. You needed us to build this great nation. So you didn't want us to be free, but we're black. We're genius. We know how to make something out of nothing. We'd get in them woods and we'd follow that North Star toward freedom. Well, the white man, he got his own thing going on too. He wants his property back. He wants to build his great nation that we all live in right now. So what he would do, he would find a good old Negro, like a Tim Scott type, a black man who enjoyed that plantation life. And he would set that black man up in the middle of the woods with little firewood. And he'd have the Tim Scott character, a la 1800, making biscuits, making some biscuits.
That is crazy.
So that the good smell of biscuits would wave through the forest, and the hungry runaway slaves would say, oh, who's making biscuits?
So nefarious.
And then the black people who were running away will go to get a biscuit, and they get trapped and sent back into slavery, right? So we understand as a people, there's always a biscuit maker. There's always a biscuit maker.
I love that phrase.
I do too. I'm never going to let it go. There's always a biscuit maker who believes in the vision of the oppressor and wants to help him keep the people oppressed. In this case, this is Tim Scott. And we as Black people know we've always had those. We all, they always exist. Like Tim Scott is just the biscuit maker reincarnated, which once again, when I tell y'all I don't like biscuits, why? Why don't I like biscuits?
It's my in your DNA.
Mess around, I ran into Tim Scott.
Meanwhile, I would have been caught.
Right. Something in my soul.
I would have been that slave that would try to run away every week, and they would have been on court me.
I have a feeling that I was on my way running away, and I smelled some of Tim Scott's biscuits.
Maybe.
And it ended my life. So when I came into this new form, in this new life, okay, we getting esoteric.
That's on your genetic memory.
When I came into my new life in the 1980s when I was born, I tell you, I ain't never liked biscuit. And like when I tell you my hatred for biscuit is so I can't talk about it. But I remember as a kid, the first time I had a biscuit, it felt like a trap. You know what I mean? Like I was like, this is a lump. This is a lump.
This really might be some like past life type stuff.
I was like, this don't taste good, but everybody want one, but it's dry, but it feel like a lump of flour in my belly. Boy, this don't feel like. So the biscuit is It's just the white man trying to get you back into slavery, people. Just get off the biscuit. So Tim Scott is a biscuit maker. That's a fun one.
For sure.
He's making biscuits. He's sending you back, baby. He's sending you right back into slavery where you belong. He said, he said, who do we need to catch, massa? Who ran away from us? That's Tim Scott.
That's Tim Scott.
All my non-Black people who, this is nothing new to us. Once again, we came with the ops.
It's how we got here, unfortunately. There were ops even on the continent that were like selling us out.
Africa, full of ops. They were like, oh, you want our finest?
There is no way these foreign people that they can't even be in the sun for more than 10 minutes without burning up and turning red. And then you got to think about the land, the lay of the land and the terrain. Somebody was showing them the way.
Yep.
That should have never even been a thing.
All
it was the ops.
The ops. The biscuit.
Let's embrace
the biscuit makers.
The biscuit makers.
The people takers. The biscuit makers. The ops. It's a rap song. It's a hit rap song. We going back to the lyrics.
Okay, lyricist.
Yo, I see them in the back making biscuits for the whack. I'm never letting it go. Like, I'm never letting it go. Biscuit maker, people taker. Okay, I could just go on.
But the reality is, though, bringing it back to Trump, I mean, he's still going to be running for president. Which I don't think the founding fathers
I want to say
ever anticipated that
honey
happening, right?
The founding fathers are getting the future America that they deserve, okay? Because
that's your karma.
All criminals, but just running amok, enjoying life, you know, totally anti-human in terms of myself and my people, right? You know, but it's like one of those things where I'm just like, so convicted felons can't vote. But you can run for president, which is why I'm like, okay, so let's find the best convicted criminal from the Black community. Can Suge Knight run for president? Because that would,
right.
Suge for president. I think that's a great t-shirt. Suge Knight for president. We get Suge Knight, mess around, Diddy for vice president. Look, I mean,
it don't matter, right?
It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter how we treat women. It doesn't matter. Like, and then he would draw a crowd. Everybody would dance and do a Diddy bop. Just don't stay at the party too long.
Exactly.
Don't go to the party.
You got to tell him no.
You got to tell him no. When Diddy crossed the party, you got to tell him no. The way that phrase rings throughout 2024. When he said it in January, we thought we had an idea. We was like, okay, you protecting your sacred orifices. I get that. Now it's like, when Diddy asked you to party, you got to tell him no.
Like, I don't know.
Oh my God.
I mean, I done heard some stories about Diddy in business meetings that made me kind of like, oh, okay. In a business meeting. So imagine that party.
Wow. So much is coming out.
I can tell you offline. I'm gonna keep it off this podcast, but
right? I'm like, girl, tell me offline. I want to know. It's amazing. It's amazing to see it kind of all coming out. You know, I'm like, wow. And if you think about how like Diddy and Donald Trump, like in the 90s, that was their era. So I'm like, oh, in the 90s, it was just, we were just really watching criminals do their thing. Like bare criminality, which is wild. Oh, I think I lost you, Star. Are you there? All right. Well, we're going to do a little, I'm going to keep this live. Like, I'm not going to, I'm actually going to not stop. But what I am going to do is see if we can make our friend come back. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a break and hopefully Star will be back in a second. All right, and she's back. Here we go.
We knew that was going to happen at some point.
You know, it's okay because we're working it out. You know what I'm saying?
We're working
What
it
did you
out.
just see live, y'all? You just saw some black women work through some
You see what we were talking about, the technicalities? It's a conspiracy. See? Somebody tapped in, they're listening to us.
And you can listen all you want, like, you know, fuck it, listen all you want, because at this point you're listening anyway, and I don't care. And I'm tired of being quiet because it's such a dumbass world. I refuse to not state that at this exact moment in time. Our president is a whole criminal, a whole rapist. And I think ultimately America does love and uphold that type of culture. Like, I think that what's really happening now is that there's the America of dreams, there's the America of hopes, then there's the actual America that's just always been
the cognitive dissonance of it all.
And this is coming out.
We'll teach our children. We're quick to teach our children. And I'm thinking about this, like all the cartoons in the 80s and 90s, like the goodiness of it all, right? The main characters were always like these like super goodies, and then like the bad guys were like these bullies, and the lesson was always do the right thing, don't let the bullies win. And the bullies are winning.
Honey, the bullies win. Right now. It's a win for bullies. It's a win for whores, you know, like once again, all the things that when they tell us not to be.
So they tell us not to be, right?
It's like, it's not. So it's like the society is crumbling.
Late stage capitalism.
Hey, I'm gonna just stay black and I'm gonna stay black and keep living. Stay black and keep living, baby. Stay black. That would just make sure every day I put Vaseline on my face so I don't get no wrinkles. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, keep my hair braided, keep my door knockers large. Just keep it real simple. You know, normally I would like to give y'all a nice lip color today, but it just didn't feel like it. I'm drinking out of my mug. This episode is brought to you by AskABlackWoman.com.
Ask a Black Woman, yes.
Because clearly Black women's opinions are to be valued. Okay. Well, if you need to ask a Black woman, but you can't find one, AskBlackWoman.com. That's my commercial.
I love it.
I need any excuse to just say this and do this, right? It's like, these are the two Black women that care about the world.
Well, shoot, speaking of, since we've been talking about presidents and whatnot, I mean, so what options do we have, right? Because we're not really feeling Biden either. But then, are we voting for Cornel West?
Hell no.
What is he gonna do?
I'm gonna need Cornel West. Cornel West just be doing what he want to do, and I get it. I do what I want to do too, but I'm not running for president.
I don't see it for him either.
I don't see it for him. And also, like, Cornel West, he got albums, he got mixtapes. So once again, like, the hip-hopification of our government is
of crazy. Everything, right?
It's crazy. But once again, you know, that's that melanated genius coming through, where people are like, actually, this is really great for us. Cornel West, I mean, just anybody who's a public anything that's not a public servant.
They're all self-serving. They all have agendas. I mean, there's a lot of overhaul that needs to happen in how we operate in terms of who gets to be a politician, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, it's already crazy. Like, I understand the concept of you want someone who is of the people. Of the people, or an everyday type of person to be able to run for these offices. But then when they get into office, and I'm not saying this is specifically for Cornel West, but like for more like a Marjorie Taylor Greene or the Boebert, idiots, right? They get in and they don't even know the laws, or like it's very clear they don't know much of anything, right? Like, why is there no civics test required, or some kind of civics education, or a lot of overhaul that needs to be done. And I mean, Cornel West is obviously, he's a scholar and he's done the work and knows the intersections of things, but he's a celebrity. Exactly. And as far as I'm concerned, he goes into the same bracket as all the other self-serving people that want any kind of position in politics. So
no, we need somebody who's a true public servant. We need somebody who cares. Like, at this point, I mean, I don't know the last time. I don't know if we've ever had a president that cared about the American people. But like right now, we actually need a president that cares about American people and democracy. And I wouldn't say that either one of our people do, but Donald Trump definitely doesn't care about the American people and democracy. So it's like, you know, I already know how I'm voting, and it's because I have to go that way. Like, I dream of a third.
You have to strategize when you
strategize and put that work in and make it. But like, just throwing Cornel West in, Now we already lived
be a disruptor. Like I disrupting it's important, it's necessary, but that's not going to win in the end game here. And not just president, but like even like who we vote for the Senate and for Congress, and like all these people got to work together. Like we're kind of screwed anyway because of who's on the Supreme Court, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like
because what these crazy maggots have been doing is now they're trying to bump every case that doesn't go in their favor to the Supreme Court because they know that those judges are in their favor. So that's the new thing.
And they should, because we watched them alley-oop it all up. We watched this started. Let me tell you, when I was done, when they didn't let Obama get that Supreme Court pick, that's when I was done. Because I knew that all this was going to happen. So if I know that as just a lady,
hope is a joke.
If I know that as a lady in my house, y'all knew that too, as the people in the House and the Senate. You did nothing to change it. So now we're here. Y'all could deal with it. Y'all could. That's for y'all to deal with. Please continue to not listen to Black people. Well, you know the thing that you should be doing.
Ask a Black woman, because they're like, there's all these like propaganda stories coming out about like, oh, the birth rate is dropping, and y'all really surprised?
You made it impossible to live and thrive in this country. Like,
but the answer is, well, let's force women to have babies. That's what we'll do. Crazy. Same thing with the gun control, right? Like these crazy shooting up the schools. You know what we need? More guns to stop the guns. Like, how does? It's insane.
It's insane. It's insane. It's insane, and it's like we walked here. We took the scenic route here. You know, every time that people wanted it to not go this way, America wasn't into it. America decided they wanted to try something new. Donald Trump will be funny president, real funny. I'll be making jokes about it forever. I love the fact that this man is. Whatever happens to him, God bless him. First of all, the
ghetto.
Honey, he's so ghetto, child. You know, and that's how I know Melania is really running the ship, because it's like you got convicted for cheating on Melania with a porn star. That's what Melania was like. Throw the book at him. That's not Melania. Me doing Melania impersonation. Melania as a Black woman, which we saw before when she did Michelle Obama's speech.
Moose, what is it? There was a meme that it was like, I write speech, but Moose and Squirrel copy. Like,
right.
I can't do a Melania voice, but they're trying to make her what's the Rocky and Bullwinkle villain?
Right. We'll never forget that. We'll never forget. Not like I'm gonna completely just rip her speech. Like, can you imagine if Michelle Obama would have completely ripped a Laura Bush speech?
Oh my God!
Never heard the end of it. But did Laura Bush even ever make a speech?
Never.
Exactly.
We've never had a first lady like Michelle, as decorated and eloquent and talented and intelligent.
Yeah.
Oh, I found the meme. I want to share the meme. I'm gonna send you the meme. Okay. It's because like I hear this meme and I'm gonna put it in the chat. But I hear this meme in I can't put it in the chat. Hold on, we'll see how I can.
Can you share from your? Does it allow you to share?
Oh yes, let's see. It says I can share screen.
Yeah, under present.
Okay,
we're working it out, y'all. This is episode 8. We are
working it out.
We're having fun, you know. We're having fun. This is healthy for us, you know, because I couldn't imagine just sitting in my house thinking about this or just watching myself. I need to talk to somebody. Like what? So it's like if he goes to jail, then he can't vote, which is crazy. Okay, what's crazy to me, the idea that like, which I'm sure that things will work out for him because that's just how it's been going. But like the idea that in November that he'd be in jail and not be able to vote is really funny to me. What I love is that like the through line with all the presidents when they fall, it's always the side chick. Man, side chickery is really messing men up, man. You gotta pay her more, I think. I think the price on side chickery has gone up. Like,
not the price on side chickery. I love it.
Not 30 G's. Like, if you're not coming with $500,000 for your side chick right now, she's gonna end you. So you either need to just like be cool with your wife or like get that money up so that like you're not you know, your side chick can't end you this way. Now, my thing is this too. Stormy Daniels' lawyer, Michael Avenatti, who was so fine, by the way. Oh my God.
Yeah, he was
That
cute.
was fine, man. I mean, I was like,
Okay,
what?
this is giving me some static, so I don't know if I can share the photo. I'm gonna keep trying as we talk this out. But
Sure. Once
and Michael Avenatti is in jail now too for doing the
been in
same
jail,
type of
girl.
stuff.
Look, it's so grimy. It's so grimy. He almost became an American hero.
Because he for a hot second he was counseling with some of the R. Kelly victims.
Right.
Which is wild.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so it's like the scam of it all, like the way our world is just, it's all money scams and business, and the way that business is more respected than humans. Like business matters more than people. Like it's crazy to just be a part of a world that cares more about people than business. I mean,
or more about business than people. Yeah.
Right.
Did you see how they tried to back after COVID?
How that? Wait, say that again. Your audio went out. It looks like
back to so-called.
Oh yeah,
right. Did my audio, still trying to rush
now?
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, they still trying to rush people out, girl. And I'm like that's what I'm saying. But you're still building all these big mega offices, but what jobs? What people to afford it? They're just empty. This is why I love. I don't know if you've seen in downtown LA. There's this building. It's like a $1 billion building that's been vacant, and the Chinese real estate people that
own it.
Like they ran out of money. So it's this big, huge eyesore of a building. But the grab artists, they bombed every floor.
Oh, I did see that. That's hilarious. I didn't know the backstory. I just saw people sharing the image of it on social, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't look into it. I just thought it was a cool photo. But hearing that backstory is amazing.
Best commentary on corporate waste and real estate waste, because it's like, you're not giving that money.
There's all these homeless people out and about, and you got to keep homeless people out because homeless people keep people scared, right? Like the prospect of the mental illness of it all, and the dangerousness of it all. You got to keep people scared. So
it's too much. Okay, so is this the meme that you want to share? Yep, I sure can.
Yeah.
So tell us about this meme.
So this meme, it came out back when the Speechgate happened, and it's from Rocky and Bullwinkle. Boris and Natasha. Yes, Boris and Natasha are the villains in Rocky and Bullwinkle, and so it's just I write speech, but moose and squirrels say I copy. Like that's it. Just a stupid random. I wanted people to have the frame of reference for that speech.
I mean,
talk. Oh, did I
Oh no, I took it down. But did you want more? Did you want to talk about it more?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's just a reference.
And that is like, once again, like the privilege of being able to just plagiarize a whole speech and people act like. But that's what I'm saying. And I don't even want to talk about her because I feel like she is the president, and she is like I feel like Melania is the one with all the power. I've always felt like that. I feel like Putin sent her over. Like I feel like Melania is that one. Like Melania, that girl. So I don't ever want to talk about
her. You know those types of men. They love them women from that region of the world. So
how easy is it to plant himself in his life and call all the shots? And that's why I have a feeling this is all he's ever going to get convicted of, because this is really about him cheating on Melania while she was pregnant. She was like, yeah, throw the book at him.
And then, like, he's not gonna go to jail. I'd be very well. Let me not just say it definitively. I'm surprised that this conviction came, but I'm also surprised that I would be very surprised if he actually does if he actually faces any real consequences. Like, I know that they're saying there is a mandatory window for this particular sentence. I'm like, he'll probably get like house arrest or whatever, and then
he'll be fine.
Like.
He'll still be in the back grabbing girls by their cooch. You know what I mean? Like he ain't never gonna change. Like the same way like Diddy's never gonna change, right? It's like the way like when he came with that apology, everybody, it's like, bro, like
because
when you
apologize, but you just said before that you said you didn't do it. You said it was an assassination of your character.
And we saw how easily you beat somebody in a towel and how that towel never even shifted.
Okay, that is some pro level stuff.
It's like we saw the mob boss. So I think what's interesting is what we're really seeing is like American mafia type activity. Like and how it has existed kind of under the guise of entertainment and politics. And for me, it's all interesting. You know, I'm disinvested in all of it. It can go either way. From like, I don't care, but it sure is interesting to watch, girl. Like, I fear for America? No, because I think America is going to get what it deserves. You know, this country been around longer than me. It's going to be here long after I'm gone. I love America. I consider myself a patriot in that I culturally, this is where I'm from. It's my home, and I want the best for it. But I also know that it's been run by freak offs for like a long
right.
time.
Right.
You know, so you know
that like white colonizer model. Unfortunately,
exactly.
all of these men want to be that, and they're freaking out because people are trying to stake their claim and take their place in this world. Like, we exist, we're here too, and we're here for a reason. And you systematically have had things set up to work in your advantage, but that pushback, they can't take it.
Yeah, it's like, and I think my thing is like, it's silly when you want people to not say anything. Well, we're the country of free speech, so like we're gonna say something. You know, it's like the idea, like the whole thing when they want people to stop talking is always what's strange to me. I'm like, the American way is actually to complain, to change things. Like, that's literally how we became free from the British. Like, I don't know. It's like people want to pick and choose when history matters, when things are culturally relevant. But it's like, the reality is America is what it is today, both the good and the bad, because of people complaining and asking for change. And when we lose that and we just go along with the bandwagon, we actually become more like Europe, which is who we were leaving. We, meaning the American ideal, right? Because that's for white people, right? The ideal of that was to be left, you know, in Europe, but now they're bringing it here. They want that good old fashioned fascism.
Yeah, and what? So this is making me think of like what's happening now is making me think of the Tupac analogy. He did an interview where he was talking about how, like, you know, let's say there's like this nice place and people are in there eating, and like there are people standing outside and they might knock on the door. They might be polite at first, like, hey, can you let us in? But then after a while, you don't let them in, and they're out there starving. They're gonna start banging on the door, and we've reached the banging on the door portion.
Right. Yeah.
So you want to hoard all the resources while the rest of us out here struggling, when really the easiest thing to do would share.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, and once again, we're paying for it. The average American is paying for this.
Exactly.
We're paying for Trump, we're paying for jails, we're paying for genocide, we're paying for war. Meanwhile, our schools are crumbling. You know, it's like,
I just got an email from a music school in Brooklyn because there were city cuts, and now they're asking all the parents for money because they don't want to shut down, which great, because we need that. We need those sort of institutions. But there is no funding for like we're paying, like you said, we're paying for all this destructive stuff.
Yeah.
And things that can be enriching and productive, it's all getting cut.
It really bothers me that we don't value young people in education in this country. And for me, like, in terms of the political and presidential conversation, the reason why I'm just voting with a bandwagon is because none of these people talk about the things that matter to me. I've been waiting. I've been listening for a presidential candidate to talk about education for the last 12 years. They never bring it up. And
education and quality of life, they all just talk bullshit and fluff.
So like, neither one of them are into what I'm into. It's just that one wants to take us back to slavery and one wants to keep us locked up in prison. You know what I mean? So it's like, neither one are good, but it's like, you know, it is.
And they're too old. I'm not with ageism, but in this case, I'm with ageism. When it comes to politics, I'm just like, these octogenarians, these baby boomers, they remember when things were good, right? They remember when there was funding for childcare and things didn't cost astronomically.
And they benefited from it. And then they voted for people to not have it. And now they're looking and saying, why isn't it like how it was when I was a kid? And then they're telling us that we're stupid and lame and we don't deserve anything. I mean, it's so toxic. It's so interesting. I mean, for me, this is all backlash against civil rights, right? This is just that backlash. And if America wants to stay in that way, in that backlash, mad that we basically, civil rights help rebrand you, America. Before civil rights, people was like, I don't know, well, maybe I'll stay in my country. Then you made it delicious to come here with all of your bills. Then the people came, you said you don't like them either, but they're so happy to be here that they're not going to complain. And why is their country the way their country is? Oh, wait, what? Oh my God. You know what I'm saying?
Surprise,
so it's like you can surprise, surprise.
Exactly.
It's America showing up in your village. It's like, so that's why for me, I just be looking at what it is. And I'm like, okay, what is my duty? My civic duty? I need to vote. Because most people don't vote. So I'm going to vote for all my righteous.
It's kind of just like voting is like, just like, this is how we vote.
Right.
Just take the paper here.
Yeah. And it's better to do that than to not do it at all. That's how I vote.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Because it could work. Voting could work if we all had the proper education and understanding of what could help us thrive as a collective, right? It could work. That's why they keep coming out with all these different laws in these different states to try to keep people from voting. So as much as I am I am politically fatigued, and I feel like I don't want to vote at all. I want to be one of those to vote. And I think about this. I live in New York. We know which.
Oh, you must have been keeping it too real.
Are we back?
Breaking up again. You're breaking up again, but you're back.
Is it the feds? It's the feds. Okay.
Hey guys, nice to see you. I know you've been hearing this rhetoric all day. Maybe not.
Can you hear me again?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you a little bit. You're like breaking up.
What?
You can't hear me?
I can hear you. You're good.
Okay, give it a second. It'll come back. This has been happening to me all week in my house. And see, that's the thing. I pay an arm and a leg for internet, but you know what? I can only get internet from one company. I have no choice, right? And that's part of this stupid system that we're in, right? Like on paper, you'll see these laws about we can't have monopolies, but this company, Optimum, has a monopoly in my neighborhood. I cannot buy internet from anywhere else, and they know it. And so they can be trash. So
that's what I'm saying. America is becoming what it once despised, which is a third world country. We're supposed to be better than those people. When I lived overseas in a third world country, I saw quickly how America could become that. And I was like, oh, this is probably where we're headed. And now we're here. We got a fascist president who is locked up in jail. That's some third world stuff, baby. It's like,
that really
that's
is.
We are. That's
and
where we are.
They're laying out all the stuff that they plan to do. Project 25, if anyone is 2025, sorry, Project 25, it's literally like the plan to turn this place into New America, whatever Octavia Butler in America was described in Parable of the Sower, Parable of the Talents, and shoot, for people that may understand on a larger scale, The Handmaid's Tale, that's laid out. So go read Project 25. They're in our faces. They're literally playing in our faces, because I think they're banking on people not being aware enough and educated enough.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, it'll be happening on some level. It'll be happening on the local level. It'll be happening in the Senate and the Congress. Like, it's an American coup. And I mean, but that's when America decided to devalue its citizens because they were people of color. And then when George W. Bush, now mind you, this is George W. Bush's America we're living in, because he's the one that allowed all that money to come into politics. So he's the one that, because it all started with W. Okay, let's never forget. It's like now
and the homelessness and mental health is Reagan.
Right. So we're literally living in a Republican formed world that had a few Democrats pop in and maybe give us healthcare and social services, which obviously
keep getting rolled back.
Which obviously American people don't deserve. You know what I mean? So my thing is this: as an American people, we're looking at our government telling us we don't deserve to be safe, to be healthy. The food is poison. Our money, for me, I'm down to just not spend money anymore. I'm down to do something drastic. I'm because it's like, well, ultimately you just want my money, right? You need me to go to work, pay these taxes, and go out and go to buy, conspicuously consume, right? You want me to go buy things that I don't need. Well, maybe now, I'm only buying things I need. Maybe now it's like, even with there's a report that came out about all the microplastics in fast food,
Yeah, that's the microplastics are killing us. I saw another article about how there was a ocean cleanup, like a mass ocean cleanup in the Pacific Ocean, and all the plastics in there, and it's like it's there now. There's nothing we can do. Like it's there. It's in there. It's in the soil. It's in the air. It's in our bodies. It's there.
Yep. And so it's like, so we live in that world. So like, do I want to do I just not care and just want to, I'm like, no, actually, like I'm gonna skip my little fast food meal because it's expensive now.
Right. It ain't even cheap no more.
It's not, as I'm saying, it's not even cheap. So it's like, there are habits that we have formed as Americans that we have to stop. Like, because McDonald's ain't cheap no more. These things aren't convenient. We can't trust our doctors anymore.
Just a couple of weeks ago, I bought a sandwich from Subway. A footlong was like, it cost me like $20 for a footlong. Yeah, there are no $5 footlongs anymore. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, and my thing is like, and Subway puts yoga mat juice in their bread.
That's what I was about to say. Like the bread is plastic too. So
look at our health as a country. We are unhealthy. We're dying, and they don't care. So like, we have to stop. We have to stop buying the stuff they're selling us. And it's actually not hard to do. Like, I've started already, and I've in the past, I've always kind of grown some food, but I'm going to be growing some things for myself. And, I would love to lose a little bit of weight. I'd love to lose a little bit of weight. So every time I get my little fast food craving, I'm going to remind myself that there's plastic, and it's, in California, they have to have the California Prop 65.
Prop 65. I've been seeing that, like, even in clothes. It's crazy. Like,
it's in everything.
It's on Fashion Nova, they have those Prop 64 warnings and say, and I know Fashion Nova is not the only.
It's all of them. It's all of them.
Polluted even for clothes, you got to have this warning.
And it's like, and that warning is to protect them. So what the government said is, it's okay. Well, they gave them the pass to poison us. And that's whoever.
And now that it's actually working, they're like, oh, actually.
And it's like, my thing is like, and what president did that? I don't know, but it was somebody. You know what I mean? So it's like,
it's all a chain of events.
Yeah, like you're not for us historically. It's like we've reached a point in history where we can look back. And maybe for me, my age, but it's like, I'm like, yo, I'm not really rocking with y'all. Like, I don't trust you. I think that so much of our society and our economy relies on us trusting our political system, trusting that the FDA is not going to poison us. Well, we can see that these people don't care. So now we have to understand that we're operating in a system of people who don't care about us. And if I know you don't care about me, you don't care about my health, then if I'm hungry and I see that McDonald's burger, I'm going to pass on it because that McDonald's burger is going to lead me down a path of sickness in a place that doesn't give me health care. So it would behoove me to not purchase the burger and to not purchase the clothes that are going to make me sick.
In a place where obesity and cancer are on the rise. And, we talk a lot about neurodivergence, right? And like how much of that is affected by, our environment versus, I know some of it can be hereditary, but some of it might be some of the more severe things that are happening to people might be the pollution and the toxicity.
I know it is. Look, I just did a little experiment. I just was like, let me just get off of sugar. It's not like I'm totally not eating sugar, but I was like, let me just avoid it. Like, I was always good for a little candy bar, a little chocolate, and I've always been a little overweight. I was like, let me just see, like, if I curb this sugar. This last week and a half of me not consuming sugar, I feel like a different person.
Same. I've been on that too. No sugar. I've drastically cut down my meat consumption, partially because I had to. Like, I had COVID back in April, and it just like threw everything out of whack. And for some reason, that's a whole other thing, but I have a condition that flares up, and it makes it hard for me. Like, I don't have an iron stomach. Like, I can't just eat anything I want. COVID just like completely destroyed, set that off. Right. And as a result, I really can't eat that much stuff. So I've been keeping it very simple, doing more like plant-based, and it's helping. And I haven't had sugar in a few weeks.
Yeah. I'm unlearning all of the things that like my middle class, good American upbringing kind of instilled in me, which is like, buy the thing. I'm like, actually, I'm going back to 1940s sharecropper mentality, have my own business, grow my own food.
Because middle class, low key, I mean, first of all, middle class incomes are such a wide range of
Right.
what's considered middle class, and like low
Right.
key, we're all struggling.
That's what
It
I'm
don't
saying.
matter.
They obliterated. They obliterated the middle class. The middle class money is now going up to the CEOs. That's why they got so
Yep.
rich. And that's once again very third world of us. Where the thing that made America great was a middle class, and now that's been obliterated. So
we're shrinking.
Bye, American dream. See you on the other side, where everybody's a business person and a crook like Trump. That's where we're headed. Because he's like, let me show you the way. He's like, watch me beat these charges. You know. All right. So we're gonna keep it moving and still talking about American politics, but moving it to rap beefs. Okay.
Which there's a lot of similarities.
We've been inundated with rap beefs. Okay. There's a new one, I think, with CardiBia.
CardiBia versus Bia. Which I don't think it's gonna really, like, they're not back and forth people. I mean, I don't know, maybe. Like, the internet has made it so much that people just don't know when to just bow out. Like, you don't have to answer everybody. But CardiBia and Bia, you know, there's always been like a sort of underlying thing with them, I guess. Who knows why? I don't follow all the rap stuff, all the rap girl stuff, but I do know that CardiBia and Bia have had some tension. And then CardiBia appeared on the Wannabe remix with Meg Thee Stallion and Glorilla, and she had that line where, well, let me read some of this. Like, she goes, thought she was on the shelf, IKEA, hope she talk like that when I see her. Bitch, please, don't nobody want to be her. Like, she said that. Now,
that straight hit.
Everyone's like, oh, that was a shot. That was a shot. I'm actually, at first I was like, what if Cardi plays it off like, I didn't say Bia, I said Bia, but no. So Bia definitely took it as a shot, and she posted a clip of herself in the studio on Twitter, and like, I don't even half know what she said, but it was like shots at Cardi, you know, of course, taking digs at her and Offset and like that stupid relationship, and so it's like a snippet. So Bia plans to release a diss track toward Cardi B, I guess. And then the last thing I saw was Cardi B said she was going to sue Bia for speaking about her character, saying lies about her, or child. I don't know.
Stop suing people. She was suing Tasha K. It's like, girl, you give us a lot of material, and I mean, she's quite entertaining, but I think like, you know, another album would be great. Personally, y'all needed to let the Kendrick Drake stop. Y'all look like you're trying to run behind the Kendrick Drake beef. The Kendrick Drake beef was brilliant because it was song after song. It happened so fast. It mollywopped you. You saw it coming out of nowhere. You're not going to be able to do that again. Nobody's going to care about anything.
Something worth holding on to. Right. Because like in the last episode, I was saying, you know, how I went to the wedding and like people, there was a Drake fan who was the groom, and they were requesting Not Like Us, and we basically pressured the Drake fan to have us play it. But then I also thought about how, being that it was a Drake fan, they did play Drake songs. They didn't play none of Drake's diss songs to Kendrick, but they played Kendrick's diss songs. So that says a lot. And that is that's the type of takeaway we want from beefs, right? Like, we want something to walk away with. We want to be able to, now I can go and say ether. I'm an ether you, right? That's a part of the lexicon. Now I can say, someone's lying, I could say, is it Charlie or one mic? Or like, you know what I mean? Or not lying, but like going back and forth. They, you know, that give us something. So now we can say they're not like us. We can chant that. But this stuff that the rap girls are doing, it's just so frivolous. I wasn't mad at the Meg Nicki thing. That was still kind of frivolous. But at this point, I'm just like, it's overkill. Like,
it's overkill. Meg Nicki was fun because like Nicki was having a whole breakdown. Meg was ignoring it. Like, it was giving drama. It was giving petty. It was giving all the things. And no pun intended, with that also being Nicki's marital last name, with a problematic husband. We all know we understand how hard it is, sis. So we get it. Is it that hard though?
It ain't that hard for her. Come on now. The access to the types of men she hit. Nah, girl. She chose that. She chose that.
Crazy to me. But, you know, and I know that she had just live streamed herself getting hemmed up by the authorities in Europe.
In Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. You know, it's like when that people were saying whoever was with her, you're not like, you can't bring drugs into Amsterdam. When you're in Amsterdam, you can do drugs in the red light district. It's very like,
that's the thing. It's not legal there. People have this idea that it's legal, and it's like, no, they're just lenient. It's kind of like here in New York, if you're caught with it,
Right.
they're not going to send you to jail anymore. But
Right.
Amsterdam, I think, has been like that for a very long time. And somehow people just got the idea that it was legal.
And airports are airports. Airports are always going to stop you for drugs. That's
why you're not going to be able to take drugs out or bring them into the country through an airport.
Honey, I would never. And people that travel, I know people that travel with marijuana. I always look at them like I would never.
Y'all are nuts.
I would never do that because I just can't. Who knows who this foreign authority? Like who knows who these people are? And they might just be looking to pick somebody, and they might choose me. And it looked like she got chose on that day.
Definitely did.
But also, white supremacy is ramping up globally, and so it's like, whereas she has, for me, what I saw was a Black woman who once could travel freely, and then be sending a message out like, not right now. Which is why I'm so happy I'm at the stage in my life where I'm not interested in traveling. Like I'm cool where I'm at, but I've traveled, so I have got that bug out of my system.
I'm interested in traveling, but I'm smart enough to check when I mean, not say smart enough, but savvy enough to check what's what wherever I'm. I mean, honestly, drugs is just such a controversial thing. I would never, right? Yeah. And like, even I don't know if you heard about there's been, I think, 5 Americans who got caught up in the Turks and Caicos for getting caught with ammo, not even a gun, but just a couple bullets, couple rounds, and they're all facing like a mandatory sentence of like 14, 15 years. And like, I understand how maybe there could be some. Well, I'm not that type of American, but like maybe there could be some bullets in your bag or something in your bag by accident. I mean, not me. I know, but like, I'm going through all my bags, but hypothetically, and I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
I mean, Brittany Griner. That's what I heard. Yeah. That's why it's like, look at the temperature of the world right now. It's not safe, and especially not safe. Like if you get your drugs when you land, baby, or if you go somewhere.
Don't really rock with Americans like that. They'll tolerate us because we bring our business and money to the country, but they don't like us.
The culture is rank. I mean, it's we have a selfish culture. We have a culture. I mean, it's very entitled. I think
at this point, Americans are known for outbursts, so that's a whole other thing. Like there's a lot stacked against us when we travel, and then if you're Black, obviously.
Exactly. Because what we are allowed here as Americans is not really allowed in the rest of the world. As anybody, as Black folks, as white folks, like they're not having that. So, and as you guys know, America, longest running rap beef of all time, baby. You know what I'm saying? All kind of beef popping off here.
There was actually a fight in Congress, like in the 1800s.
Of course,
it was Hold on, I gotta look this up and get this right. The incident was known as the caning of Charles Sumner. Okay,
I've heard of it.
So it happened in 1856, the Brooks-Sumner affair. So in the Senate chamber, a pro-slavery Democrat from South Carolina took that cane and beat the dog shit out of Charles Sumner because they had opposing views, and that was known as the Brooks-Sumner affair. Now, actually, it was really like we're laughing about it, but actually, Charles Sumner almost died. Like it was that deep.
Well, my thing, and it's like beating him for what? To keep Black people enslaved. You know what I mean? Like why would you know what? You were at the center of that beat.
I gotta do more digging because I'm curious about like what happened to Sumner. Did he even go to jail? And I'm willing to bet. I mean, not Sumner. Sumner was the abolitionist. He was an abolitionist, but Brooks, right? Like I wonder, Preston Brooks was his name. I'm curious about like, did he even face any consequences? Because you see how they treat those extremists now, right? Like they're just like, oh, you stop that.
Or did he start the popular streetwear brand, the Brooks Brothers? You know what I'm saying?
Did he go on to
like there's probably, that's what I'm saying. So we know that there's a great appetite for this and praise for this. He probably has like a statue.
Yeah, Brooks became seen as a hero in the South, of course. Not surprised.
Yeah, and that's who we live with. Yeah, and that's who we live with. That's who we live with.
Brooks was praised by Southern newspapers.
Exactly.
I don't see anything about prison. That doesn't mean that, but probably not.
Because slaves made America great. Why would you want to get rid of them?
And what we're seeing now is still the product of that.
We're like, oh, we need to own them. They're so amazing. That's why I say it's a dumbass world.
I do want to see
That's
another
my
fight
mom
in
in the back,
Congress.
you guys.
This is real. This is real. I love this. I love this. But I'm not gonna lie. I do want to see another fight in Congress or Senate. That's where we are now. That's
They
where
need
we
to
are.
fight. Oh, they should duke it out. Matter of fact, give them
And
guns.
I'm watching with some popcorn like Babs from Making a Band. She's like, let them fight. That's gonna be me.
Let them fight, baby. Let them go.
It's
Let 'em
time.
go. So we fighting. So look, hip hop and American government have become synonymous. There's the streets, the Senate of the streets, the Congress of the streets. The presidency goes to whoever wins the battle with the craziest rap lines. That's y'all. I think that's it for us today. I think that's it for us today. You know, it's been me, Malika Jules, comedian, writer, recovering female rapper, and my girl, Star Rock, author and reluctant journalist. We represent the East and the West Coast on this piece. Just two young Black millennial shorties and with life experience looking at this crazy ass world.
Crappy internet today. Sorry, y'all. I know that's me for sure. The internet stuff.
You know
I've been
the internet is crappy, but this is episode 8, and we're so great.
We made it.
And we made it, baby. And we smart girl, dumb world, and we out. Hey.